Today is service day for my RTV 900. I bought this machine in 2008 new. As you can see right here, I bought it in August of 2008. And I keep track of everything about this machine and every machine I own, and I write it all in this book. And back in the back here is my owner's manual. This is going to be kind of an extended service because I have to change the oil. I change it every year, and I realized that I needed to change the transmission fluid at 1,384 hours. I have transmission, these are transmission filters. This is the oil filter, and I also need to change the air filter, so that's why I'm calling this an extended service. You can see I have the back up. I have this in place. This is a guard to keep the bed from coming down on me. So the first thing we're going to do is change the oil. So let's get that done. 14 millimeter, and I get to try out my new filter wrench. Cool. Alright, let's go under and drop the oil. Now I have to use this longer socket because my ratchet won't get up in there. Now this thing only holds about 3 quarts. I usually leave my pan under here for a little bit because this plate here, the oil kind of drains down on it. The other really nice thing that Kubota did, and they're really good at it, they put the oil filter right over the pan. So that's awesome. So let's get this old filter off and get a new one on. These oil filter pliers work awesome. The other thing I really like about Kubota filters is that they come completely wrapped, and that's nice. Now obviously, since this is a side door, I can't fill it with oil to do anything like that, so I'm going to clean up the seat. I've put a little bit of oil on this filter. We'll take this in hand tight, filter wrench on here, and go 1/4 turn. Right there. Now we just got to put the oil to her. Alright, this is my oil filler. I keep this on top of it in my shop because my shop is dirty. You've seen me grinding and welding in here, and it protects my can. This machine and my BX 1860 both call for 3.1 quarts of oil. Why in the world they build a machine that takes 3.1 quarts of oil, I have no idea. I put 3 quarts in them and I've never looked back. Let's fill her up. And 3. Alright, I put the cover back on my oil can. I've covered and put the cap back on my Rotella oil, which is what I use. It's Rotella T4, and it is 15 weight 40. And that is just a shade below full. So 3 quarts it is. I've never had this engine use any oil. I check it regularly. 3.1 or 3 quarts. I go with 3 quarts. The first step in changing this transmission fluid is I popped out the breather here, and I've laid my oil cap top over it so it will pull the transmission fluid at a rapider rate. Alright, the transmission plug is right there. It is 17 millimeter. Now this oil is relatively clean oil. It's a very light oil. And I keep this. No, I don't screen it and reuse it or any of that. So what I use this for is I use this kind of oil for treating my trailer decks, and we use it for treating wood, our sheds, all that stuff. So I keep this and we reuse this and we put it on, and it works great. And plus it doesn't stain real hard because it's not dirty. All right, this has got a cover on it to protect this filter in the back of the transmission, so we have to take that off. All right, now I've got these two bolts loose here. We took these out. These are the bottom bolts that have to come out on this bracket. Like I say, this is like a skid plate for the rear end here. I'll show you. You can see this is the back of the transmission, and this skid plate here protects this and protects this filter here. Okay, that's off. Now I got to clean up these filters and get ready to take those out. Old socks work great for doing this kind of stuff. You can just put them on over your hands or your gloves or whatever, and you can clean up around everything. Now the other filter is right here, and we got to clean it too. Just cleaning up this side of it. So let's get these off. This filter wrench is great. When I first got this machine, these were color coded. This one was orange and the other one was yellow. Then they changed this one to white for whatever reason, and the other one is still coded yellow. These are just like an oil filter. You tighten them up hand tight and you give them a quarter turn. And we'll get this one off. This is the yellow. It's coming. They're just really tight. This one off. Now one of these is a suction filter, they call it. And the other is from power. So I don't know which is which or what's what. I just put the color codes where they go, and it always works fine. I think the manual tells you that. And then before I put these covers all back on here, I'm going to start the machine after I put the transmission fluid in it, and I'm going to check both of these filters for any leaks. Then I'll come back and reinstall this guard. So now we're going to wipe this all off right here real good, and we will reinstall this filter. Tight as I can get it with one hand and a quarter turn. Okay, that's it. Now we're going to go up and put our transmission fluid in, then we'll recheck these for leaks. I've completely cleaned up this funnel and it's looking great. Remove that carefully. Now I've got 2.5 gallons of Kubota UTD2 oil. That's what this transmission calls for, and it's the only thing that they recommend running in it. So I'm going to put most of this in. Now I always use every oil and everything that Kubota recommends I use on these machines. I trust Kubota implicitly. They are a stellar company. Their equipment is excellent, and if it calls for Super UDT transmission fluid, you can run whatever you want. But I run Super UDT in this, and I have for 13 years, and this machine has never let me down. I call it the mule. This thing is amazing. I figure the little extra I have to pay for it is not a bad deal. And we're going to start the machine, and I'm going to check for leaks. and then we'll put the rest of this in. Oil filter's good. That one, not leaking. That one, not leaking. Alright, I'm going to let this run for a minute, and then we'll fire down, put everything together, check our fluid levels, and if everything's good, we're done. Okay, my transmission is down to add. I checked my oil filter and I checked my engine oil, and my engine oil is about 1/8 of an inch or a little less below full, which is 3 quarts fine. This transmission calls for 2.5 gallons. Now our transmission filters are all full. Let's see where we're at here. It is right on full. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's right on full. Okay, now we're going to put this guard back on. One, two, three, four. All bolts in and tight. This is the air filter on the Kubota we're going to change. These 2 clips come off, and you can see there's stuff in there. I just usually bang it out like that. Now the manual says that you can blow these out and clean them. I never do. You can see the crap on that. I don't blow these out. I figure for the price of admission, these are about 20 bucks, and I change them every year. I just pull any loose debris out like that, and I put a new air filter on it, just like that. And then I put the cover back on. This is a pre-cleaner here. There's a hook ring there and a hook ring there. And yes, folks, it's just that easy. I don't figure trying to blow these out and reuse them is worth my time. It's my engine. I want it to breathe good, clean air. I don't do this. All right, now I'm going to check my radiator and see how full it is. And it is full. The reason why I did that is because I just got done checking this, and this is down a little bit. So I'm going to add some fluid to this. This is our power steering fluid here. And it's right in between the lines. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see that it's right in between the lines, so it is good. And this calls for being about half full, so I'm going to fill it up about half full. Okay, our power steering fluid's good, our coolant is good in the radiator and in the canister. Our lift oil is right here. Let's see what it says. It is right between the lines. I'm going to call that good. So that concludes our little bit of extended maintenance on the RTV. We changed out the tranny fluid, we changed out the engine oil, we changed out filters on all, and we changed out our air cleaner, and we checked all our fluids, and we added some coolant. If you like RTVs and you like equipment and you like the things that I do, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. See you on the next video.